Good day, everyone. I am Prisoner Aldar Baligad with my co-author, Dr. Leonel de la Cruz. We are from the Maritime Academy of the Asia and the Pacific. The title of our research is Measuring the Health and Well-being Status of MAP Employees. Introduction. It is believed that when an employee is healthy in all aspects of his life, his capabilities are maximized. The health and well-being of the employees have a direct impact on the organization's success. Successful businesses have happy, healthy employees. Mental health is one of the key contributors to productivity, and employers should do more to ensure the mental well-being of their staff. Well-being is more than the absence of disease or illness. It includes physical, mental, emotional, and social health factors. Happiness and life satisfaction is the key to your well-being. Physical health and mental health are strongly connected. Taking care of your physical health is scientifically shown to improve mental well-being, and vice versa. If one declines, the other can be affected too. The paradigm of the study is presented in Figure 1. The study followed the IPO model. The general problem of the study is, what is the status of the health and well-being of the employees of the Maritime Academy of the Asia and the Pacific? It sought answers to the following specific questions. Number one, what is the profile of the respondents in terms of gender, age, educational attainment, marital status, number of children, employment position, years in service? Number two, how may the health status, consumption, and physical activities of the respondents be described? Three, how may the respondents assess their health and psychological well-being? Number four, which among the factors singly or in combination affect the health status and well-being of the respondents? Number five, how may the consumption, physical activities, and health status of the respondents relate to their psychological well-being? Number six, how may the results of the study be used as basis for establishing holistic health program and policies? The hypotheses tested in the study are: number one, the profile factors do not significantly affect the health, the consumption, and the psychological well-being of the respondents. Number two, the consumption, physical activities, and health status of the respondents do not significantly related to their psychological well-being. And number three, the consumption, physical activities, and health status of the respondents do not significantly related to their psychological well-being. Methods. The study is a descriptive method. It utilizes the survey method. The instrument is a questionnaire consisting of 5 parts: the demographic profile of the respondents, the assessment of the health status, consumption, physical activities, and the assessment of the well-being of the respondents. Items in the questionnaire were based from the study and health and well-being survey, downloaded from the internet as well from the Health and Well-being by Evangelical Alliance. Results will be presented by Dr. Leonora de la Cruz.
Results. Table 1 presents the frequency and percentage distribution of the respondents by personal profile. 96 out of 140 respondents are male. The age ranges from below 20 to above 60 years, and majority are married. 49 have no children. Table 2 presents the frequency and percentage distribution of the respondents by professional profile. The highest educational attainment ranges from incomplete secondary level to doctorate degree. Majority are non-teaching personnel. The number of years in MAAP is from less than 1 to above 19 years. Figure 2 shows that the majority of the respondents claim that their health status is good. Figure 3 is alarming to note that 44 out of 140 respondents have high cholesterol. Figure 4 shows that 30 of the respondents were diagnosed with high blood pressure. Figure 5 shows that 82 or 60% are complaining to have headache while 72 is suffering from back pain. Figure 6 shows that 43 of the respondents eat vegetables 3 to 4 times per week. 53 of them eat fruits 1 to 2 times per week. Figure 7 reveals that 41% of the respondents eat fatty foods and 57 of the respondents drink alcohol 1 or 2 times per week. Figure 8 reveals that 115 never smoke cigarette. Figure 9 shows that 49% of the respondents do 1 to 2 times or at least 30 minutes exercise per week. Figure 10 indicates that majority of the respondents have engaged in sports activities. Table 3 presents the employee's psychological well-being. It shows that to a great extent, employees are satisfied with life, happy, enthusiastic, feeling useful, and deal with problems well. Figure 11 shows that 114 or 81% of the respondents are in good state of psychological well-being. To test the hypothesis, multiple regression analyses were run in the data. Table 4 shows that the number of children predicts the overall health status of the respondents. Increased number of children decreases the overall health status of the respondents. Table 5 and 6 shows that none of the profile predict the vegetable and fruits consumption of the respondents. Table 7 shows that age and number of children predict the fatty food consumptions. Table 8 indicates that gender predicts the alcohol consumptions. A closer look into the data shows that male respondents consume alcohol while none of the female respondents consume alcohol. Table 9 shows that gender predict the frequency of the 30-minute exercises. A good number of male are doing the exercise. Table 10 shows that none of the profile variables predict the psychological well-being of the respondents. Table 11 shows the Spearman correlation between the variables and psychological well-being. It shows that there was a weak positive correlation between psychological well-being and health status. Also, there was a weak positive correlation between psychological well-being and engagement to physical and sports activities. It also shows that a weak positive correlation exists between psychological well-being and food consumption. And finally, a weak negative correlation exists between psychological well-being and fatty foods consumptions. Mr. Baligad will present to you the conclusion and recommendations.
Okay, conclusion. In accordance to the findings presented earlier, the following conclusions were formulated. Number 1, psychological well-being is not singly and exclusively affected by factor, but rather influenced by combinations of different factors, namely health status, engagement to physical or sports activities, and consumption of fruits and fatty foods. Number 2, psychological well-being is weak positive correlation to health status with a very weak positive correlation to engagement to physical or sports activities. With a weak positive correlation, fruits consumption, and with a very weak negative correlation, fatty foods consumption. The results can be used by the institutions as a basis in formulating holistic health and well-being program and policies. Thus, the study recommends the following. Number 1, Food Service Division, FSD, is recommended to work with the Infirmary Department to formulate a new food menu plan. It is important to come up with the list of foods that are healthy and will not result in diseases and health concerns enumerated such as high blood, cholesterol, high blood, and high sugar level. Number two, it is recommended that the institution create an employee lounge or break room. Establish employee lounge or break room will result to many positive benefits such as it can eliminate or at least minimize health problems enumerated such as back and muscle pain, eye strain, and stress, among others. Number three, establish regular sports activities and program encouraging everybody, especially female employees, to join. It may also be helpful to evaluate the previous sports program of the institution and formulate an improved one. Here are the references. Thank you for watching and listening.